Hey guys, okay, so we are looking at our morning math page for this week, and mine is printed out. Yours is still on the computer. I don't know if you printed it out or not, but we are looking at Monday's 5A review. Every day you should be doing all of your work on a piece of paper and keeping it until the next day. There's no way that you're doing all of this in your head. So like I said, you should be showing all of your work on a piece of paper. So let's look at number 1. 34 times 28. Well, that's just multiplication. So I'm going to come up here and give myself some room. 8 times 4 is 32. Write my 2, carry my 3. 8 times 3 is 24, 25, 26, 27. Mark out my 8, write my 0. 2 times 4 is 8. 2 times 3 is 6. 2, 15. 1 plus 2 is 3, plus 6 is 9. So our answer for number 1 is 952. Okay, number 2. We should be using our big 7 since it's 458 divided by 5. So I'm going to have a big 7, 458 divided by 5. Now I have to think of how many times 5 can go into 458 without going over. Well, I know 5 times 100 is going to be 500. So obviously that's going to be too much. So if we went down and did 5 times 90, that's going to be 450. 450, and then I have 8 left over. And then how many times can 5 go into 8? It's just one time. And then I have 3. I have 3 left over. Let me write this a little smaller. And then I cannot go into 3 anymore. So my answer is 91, remainder 3. Okay, number 3, round each of the following numbers to the nearest tenth. Now, we have been learning about place value. Well, we know because it's a TH, it's going to be to the right of the decimal. So I'm going to make that a little arrow. That TH goes an arrow. It's going to be to the right of that decimal. And I know that I always have to start, when I'm rounding a number, I always need to look in, I'm sorry, not look. I need to look at the place that it's talking about. So I need to look at the tenths place. Well, in this first number, it's a 6. Well, I always look at the number to the right of it, which is a 7. If it's bigger than 5, the number goes up. If it's less than 5, the number stays the same or goes down. So it wants us to round it to the nearest tenth, and we're looking at the number 6. Well, that 7 is making that 6 go up. So our answer is going to be 5.7, or 5 7/10. Okay, the next one is 3 5/100. We look at the 0, and then we look at that 5 to tell us what it's going to make the 0 do. It's 5 and up, which means that 0 is going to turn to a 1. It's going to round up. So our answer is 3 1/10. And then we are on the last one. It says 12 78/100. We're going to look at our 7 in the tenths place and then look back at the 8. Well, that 8 is 5 and up. So it's going to make that 7 round up to 8. So now our answer is 12 8/10. Okay. It wants us to write each number in standard form. Now, standard form is just regular form. This is expanded form. We want to put the number all together. We want to put it back together and put it in standard form. So we have 900,000 plus 80,000 plus 5,000 plus 300 plus 20 plus 5. So our digits that we have are 9, 8, 5, 3, 2, 5. And I got that from 9, 8, 5, 3, 2, 5. Now, we know that the thousands is 3 places over. So ones, tens, thousands. After the thousands, you put a comma. So my answer is 985,325. Our next one is 500 plus 60,000. I'm sorry, 500,000 plus 60,000 plus 2,000 plus 100 plus 90 plus 3. Well, my digits that I need to write down are 5, 6, 2, 1, 9, 3. And again, I got that from right here. 5, 6, 2, 1, 9, 3. And I know that thousands, it's going to be, I need to count over 3 spots. Tens, hundreds, ones, tens, hundreds, thousands. And I put my comma between the hundreds and the thousands. So this number in standard form is 562,193. And now we're looking up at number 5. It says find the rule in filling the missing terms. So if we look in inches, it says 12, 24, 36, blank, 60. Well, this is increasing by 12 every time. 12 plus 12 is 24. 24 plus 12 is 36. 36 plus 12 is 48. Okay, so we increased by 12 every time. Here are feet, so we increased by 12 on the first in inches. And feet, it says 1, 2, blank, 4, 5. I'm sorry, blank. So I'm saying it's increasing by 1. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so our rule in inches is plus 12. Feet is plus 1. Okay. It says graph the related number pairs from the problem above. Well, our related number pairs are going to be the one under and above, under and above, under and above, under and above, under and above. Now, the way I'm going to do this is I have an x-axis and I have a y-axis. And I always have to remember that you have to, anytime you're on a problem like this, you have to go across before you go up. And the way I like to remember it is if you've ever seen somebody dunk a basketball, you've never seen them just jump up and dunk it in the goal. They always have to run before they jump. So that's the same thing we're going to do here. We're going to run before we jump. Well, if we look at the numbers above, it wants us to graph the related the number pairs on from the problem below. And I said it's the ones on bottom and on top. So our first number pair is 1 and 12. So I'm going to run across. I'm going to run to my 1 and then go up to my 12. Well, that's not very far because the next number on here is 12. So then I'm going to put my dot on the coordinate 1, 12. We went across to 1, we went up to 12. So my dot goes on those 2 spots. And then my next coordinate pair is 2 and 24. I've got to run across to 2 and jump up to 24. And that's where my dot is. My next one is 3 and 36. I've got to run across to 3 and up to 36. Okay, next one is 4 and 48. I've got to run across to 4, go up to 48. My last one is 5 and 60. I've got to go run across to 5, go up to 60. And if you look, you should have a line. So if I wanted to draw a line, my line would be increasing, going through all the dots. Okay. Number 7. This is just like the ones we had, I think last week or the week before. This is just, I'm sorry, order of operations. My mind went blank. So remember, it's going to be PEMDAS, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally, or parentheses, exponents, multiply, divide, add, subtract. So we have to do our parentheses first, and then we'll do our brackets. Our parentheses are 9 times 4, which is 36, divided by 6. That's in our brackets. 36 divided by 6 is going to be 6. And then minus 5. 6 minus 5 is 1. Okay. And then the last one on part A is going to be compare each set of numbers with greater than, less than, or equal to. So where we always have to start is the whole number. We always, when we're comparing two numbers, we're looking at the whole number first. So right here in this first problem, our whole number is a 0. Well, they're both the same, so that doesn't help us. So we're going to move into our decimal numbers. Well, the first in the tenths position, it's a 0 in this one and a 0 in this one. Well, 0 and 0 are still equal, so that doesn't help me. So I'm going to move to the next spot. In the hundredths place, I have a 0 in this number and an 8 in this number. Well, I know 8 is greater than 0, therefore this number is greater than this number. So my alligator mouth faces the greater number, which is 8 hundredths. 8 hundredths is greater than 8 thousandths. Okay, so let's look at the next one. We always start with our whole number. Our whole number in each of them are 3, so that doesn't help me. Then I go to my tenths. This is a 2 and this is a 3. Well, 3 is greater than 2, therefore my alligator mouth again faces the right, and it eats 3 and 357 thousandths, because 3 and 357 thousandths is greater than 3 and 257 thousandths. So let's look at the last one. Our whole number again, this is 17 and this is 18. We know that 18 is greater than 17, therefore last one again is facing the right. 18 and 596 thousandths is greater than 17 and 569 thousandths. So let's do the next one together. Whew, sorry, out of breath. Okay, so we have 74 times 16. Again, that is just basic multiplications. I'm going to come up here, 74 times 16. If I wanted to do this by the area model, I would break this down and do about, this is about 7, it's about 4, this is about 1, that's about 6. 1, 4, 6. So 1 times 7 is 7. 1 times 4 is 4. 7 times 6 is 42. 4 times 6 is 24. And then we're not finished. We have to add them all up. So 42 plus 24 plus 7 plus 4. Okay, well. Ooh, jeez, pencil messed up. 2 plus 4 is 6, plus 7 is 13, plus 4 more is 17. Write my 7, carry my 1. 1 plus 4 is 5, plus 2 is 7. That cannot be right. Let's go back and do it the regular way and check our math, because I did something wrong, which is okay because you make mistakes in math. So let's do it the other way. 6 times 4 is 24. Carry your 2. 6 times 7 is, 6 times 7 is 42, plus 2 is 44. Oh yeah, I knew that answer was wrong. 1 times 4 is 4. 1 times 7 is 7. Okay. And then 4 plus 4 is 8. 7 plus 4 is 11. 1 plus 4 is 5. So our answer is 518. Sorry about that. I did it the wrong way the first time. But we're going to move on. 874 divided by 3. So we draw our big 7. And again, inside is 874. Outside is 3. Now I need to know how many times 3 can go in 874 without going over. So I can multiply it by 100, and that just gets me to 300, so that doesn't help. If I do 3 times 2, that is 6. So if I did 3 times 200, that would be 600. So that's closer. If I did 3 times 3, which is 9, that means I can't do 3 times 300. So let's do 3 times 200, which is 600. 4, 7, 2. Okay, now I have 274 left over. So we'll do another 200. I'm sorry, not 200. No. We can't do 3 times 100. We could do 3 times, let's see, what's 3 times 90? 3 times 90. 270. Gotcha. 270. That doesn't go over, and it leaves 4 left. Okay, so our answer is 290. I can go in one more time. 4 minus 3, 291. And then I have a remainder 1. Okay. Round each of the following numbers to the nearest tenth. Again, we need to look in the tenths position. If the hundredths position, because that's what's going to tell us to change or not. If the hundredth position is greater than 5 and above, it's going to make the tenths position round up. If it's less than 5, it's going to round down or stay the same. So our tenths position is the 1. We're going to look at that 2. Well, that 2 is less than 5. So we're going to round the 2 down and keep the 1 the same. So then we have rounded it to 13 1/10. 5 and 55 hundredths. We're going to look at the 5 in the tenths place, and then we're going to look at the 5 in the hundredths place. Well, it's 5 and above, so it's going to make the 5 in the tenths place round up. So our answer is 5 6/10. And then it says 81 and 88 hundredths. We're looking at the 8 in the tenths place, and then we're going to look at the 8 in the hundredths place. It's 5 and above, so it's going to make that first 8 round up to a 9, which means our answer is going to be 81 9/10. Okay, write each number in standard form. Remember, this is already expanded form. Okay, and we need to put it all back together into standard form, which is just a regular number. So we have 700,000, 40,000, 1,500, 60, and 2. So our digits that we need to write down are 7, 4, 1, 5, 6, 2. And again, we need to put our comma in the correct place. So we go 1, tens, hundreds, and it goes before the thousands. So 741,562. Okay, and then we have 200,000, 30,000, 5,000, 800, 70, and 9. So we need to put them all back together. Our digits are 2, 3, 5, 8, 7, 9. And we need to put our comma after or before the thousandth. So we're going to count over ones, tens, hundreds, thousands. So that number is 235,879. Number 5, find the rule and fill in the missing terms. Well, number of miles, 1, 2, 3, 5, that's going to be a 4. Minutes, 8, 16, blank, 32, blank. Well, that is going to be increasing by 8. So 8 times 2 is 16, 8 times 3 is 24, 8 times 4 is 32, 8 times 5 is 40. Or it's just increasing by 4 every time. So our rule is number of miles is plus 1, minutes is plus 8. And then we come down to our graph, and remember our related terms are the ones on top and bottom. So remember, like I said, we have our x-axis We have our y-axis, and we always have to run before we can jump. So we have to run. It says number of miles. Well, that's the bottom number. It says 1, and the minutes is 8. So we're going to find the number 1. Well, this time there's not an 8. There's a 5 and there's a 10. Well, I know that 8 is going to be closer to the 10, so I'm going to put it about where I think 8 would be. So 1 and 8 is one of our coordinates, okay? And the next one is 2 and 16. I got to run over to 2. And then again, there's no 16, but I know 16 is going to be right after 15. So I'm going to put it right after 15. Not on the line of 15, because that would be making it 15, but right above 15. And then it's 3 and 24. I'm going to run over to 3 and go up to 24. Well, there's 20, so I need to go up a little further, and then 25. 24 comes right before 25, so I'm going to put it right below that line. 4 and 32. I'm going to run over to 4, go up to 30. I know 32 is going to come not far behind 30. So I'm going to put it just a little bit above, and then 5 and 40. I'm going to run over to 5 and go up to 40. That one I can put right on the top line. So again, this is a line. It's going to make a line, nice pretty line. Okay, so order of operations down here. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally, or parentheses, exponents, multiply, divide, add, subtract. Parentheses first, 9 times 2 is 18. 8 minus 2 is 6. And then 18 divided by 6 is 3. Plus 25 is 28. And y'all excuse me because it's been a long week and my brain's kind of tired, so taking me a minute to do these. Okay, so compare each set of numbers with greater than, less than, or equal to. Remember, we always look at the whole numbers first. Both of them are zeros, so that doesn't help us. So then we go to the tenths place. 7 and 1. Well, 7 is greater than 1, so 71 hundredths is greater than 171 thousandths. Okay, 80 and 8 tenths, and 8 and 8 hundredths. We'll look at the whole number first. 80. We have 8 here. Well, we know 80 is greater than 8. So therefore, we're going to eat 80, or 80 and 8 tenths is greater than 8 and 8 hundredths. And then the last one, 14 and 5 tenths, and 14 and 50 hundredths. Well, look at the first whole number, 14 and 14. Well, that's the same, so that doesn't help us. 5 and 5, that's the same, so that doesn't help us. And we want to make these have the same amount of numbers and put in our place filler. Well, 0 and 0, well, it looks to me like these two numbers are equal. So if y'all have any other questions, please let me know. I'll be happy to help in any way that I can. And remember, our test is on Monday. Have a great weekend. Hope you study. Bye.